Okay, everybody. Y'all, let me tell you, what's up, Cynical One? Let me tell y'all, I started, what is it called? Something stream, and I was teaching myself, and I did everything correct, but then y'all couldn't hear me. What's the point of doing it if you can't hear me? So I'm gonna have to go back and look and see, uh, what I did or what I didn't do, uh, and everything. So anyway, let's get her in. This is your girl Creole Butterfly, Libra Butterfly, Coco, ninth through ninth, coming to you from the great state of Kentucky, where the women are beautiful and the horses are fast, and the horses are beautiful, and the women are fast. It just really depends on what you like, okay? Uh, and I'm over the what? The smooches. So you get a smooch, you get a smooch. Everybody gets a smooch, okay? Hold on, I'm finishing this up. Okay, so any chew. Okay, let's get it started. Y'all, hey, Auntie Melissa, the cynical one. Hey, everybody. Hey. Oh, chow. Because, I'm trying to reach out and do extra stuff, learn some more stuff. Because, I'm not dumb. It just takes a lot, and I don't have time like that to just sit and learn new things the way everybody else does. But I said today, since it's raining outside and all the good type of stuff and the good type of stuff, I'm gonna, go on and sit down and go through this stream, whatever that I just got, and I'm gonna try to use that. Going back and forth between that and StreamYard. Because if I ain't got paid for StreamYard, I ain't paying for StreamYard. I'm gonna do their 20 whatever for free, and then switch over to the other stream and do their 20 whatever for free, and then it'll be time to go back to see what I'm saying. That's the way to do everything, okay? Because I'm all about the coin. I'm all about watching my Dutch. My Dutch morks, as they said. What's up, JB, little bruh? And thanks to you, I was able to get my deluxe coffee today, Jay. Thank you, boo. Thank you. If you all do want to give to the coffee fund, please do, honey. Yes. I even forgot my daggone thing that I usually put up here. You know what I'm saying? Like today, anywho, honey. Who? I felt all good pulling up to Dunkin' Donuts. Yes, honey. I want my special today. But I switched it. Instead of getting the mocha, I got the caramel. Okay. Um, I know y'all saw my thumbnail, and we're gonna talk about it. Okay, so let me pull it up because one of the family members actually said thank you for sharing this story. Okay, so I think this is a breaking story, and everything. And y'all know I'm a mom, so anytime I can support moms or whatever. Okay, let me make sure you all can see this because we're not gonna be on here long. Yeah, we're not. One, because my coffee's gone. Yeah, it's gone. You know how that works. Okay. Anywho, this right here, I'm not sure if y'all can see it, and I don't have on my glasses, so just bear with me. I can't read. Trust me. Okay, missing endangered person. This came out of Durham, North Carolina. Okay, Adria was last seen to be operating a white 2015 Chevrolet Tahoe K1500 with North Carolina license plates of JHW 6100. Durham Police Department is seeking a public assistance to locate Adria Edwards Reed. Okay, Adria is 8.5 months pregnant and was scheduled to be induced around the time of her disappearance. She is 44 years old. Okay. Okay. She's 44 years old. She is also 8.5 months pregnant and was supposed to be induced last week. Now, for those of you all who haven't had any kids or men or whatever, hey, that's my sister disrespectfully mixed, okay? For those of you all don't know, when a woman's pregnant and they go to induce you, either you're having complications, okay, or they got your timing mixed up, and so they want to put you in a hospital to take, to help you with the baby, to help you deliver your baby, okay? So there is no woman on earth that is pregnant, okay, especially 8.5 months pregnant, that's gonna miss an inducing. Okay, so something has happened to this lady. All right, let's pray that she's not murdered, and that her and the baby is safe somewhere. And she just can't reach a phone. That they find her, and I know we can do it because we found that little boy. You know what I'm saying? We as a community found that little boy and brought him back. Okay, let me see. What's up, Derek, my brother? Inducing labor, seen it live when I was in the net. Okay. Yeah. So, me being the mother of nine, hello, seven girls, two boys, uh, two of mine had to be induced. Okay, because of health reasons. So I'm telling you, no woman worth her salt, no woman almost 9 months pregnant is gonna miss her inducing. We ain't going for that. Okay. So anyway, let's go back. Let me finish reading. She was last heard from by family on July the 10th. Okay. And this is the 14th, y'all. So this is why this story is so relevant right now because it's just been 4 days. Okay. Um, and Drill was last known to be okay. I read that. Anyone, let me scroll up. Okay, anyone who knows where Andrea is or sees the vehicle she was operating is asked to contact the Durham Police Department. Okay, call 911 if you can. All right. Um, the front desk is 919-560-4427. The family member who actually, hey, Smoop's wife, hey, the family member who actually responded, if you would like to send me more information on this, or if you would like to come on and talk about it, let me know, and I'll pull up a special live for you, because I'm all about missing women and things that happen to women. Today is Missing Monday, so that's one reason why I'm doing this. And plus, since it's so fresh, I want this to stay in people's forefront. And I'm praying for her and this baby, y'all. Seriously. We got some sick people in the world. We really do. And sometimes I don't know what her dating status was or whatever. I don't claim to know nothing about that. So when I make this statement, it's not about her. Okay. It's just in general. Lately, we are getting men mixed up with males. Real men don't murder women and kids. Real men don't hurt women and kids physically. Now, sometimes when emotionally you can't help, but physically, a real man ain't gonna put his hands on you. He'd rather walk out and leave. He'll tell you, you know what? Before I hurt you, I'm gonna walk out this door. You ain't gotta worry about it. I ain't coming back because they realize they're men. Okay, so all these, I told y'all to start praying for the minds of the men. Remember, I told y'all that. I told y'all that 2 years ago. Another prophet has said it. So I'm telling you, it's been a thing to where it's like the enemy is really, really taking the minds of the men. And I'm telling you why. Remember, I told y'all that we're going into a season to where the men are wanting to be married to, good women. They're wanting to go home. They wanted to be better fathers. Like, men are really trying to step up and switch this narrative and everything. They switch, and I said they're coming back. They're gonna, blah blah blah. And so, but remember, I also told y'all, but before the enemy will allow that to happen, he'll start tricking their minds first. So there's a lot of males, okay, who is taking these women out, who's taking kids out. When have y'all ever seen men murder their own kids? Like that one guy, and I'm gonna do that live. And one guy that took his son for his visit from the mother and then threw the son over in the river. When have you ever known for stuff like that to be happening, y'all? When I tell y'all, yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy. You know, Let me see. I love that for us. They see their value in the home after many generations. Right. Right. Hey, Miss T Velocity, I miss you. Smooches to you, boo. Um, y'all, all you gotta, you know what? I'm trying not, let me just say this. All you gotta do is change your mind. That's it. All you gotta do is change your mind. All you gotta do is say, you know what? You may want to do something this way, but you can think and be like, you know what? I changed my mind. Let me tell you something. I heard something yesterday when I was out to dinner, and I heard, nothing's worse than to be lied on. Can I be honest with y'all? Nothing's worse than to be lied on. Okay, because I'm such an open book and I speak my mind. So the audacity for some family members that call themselves loving me, to be trying to sow discord behind my back and lie on me, it did something to me. Plus, let me tell you how God works. For 2 nights straight, I've had a dream, a detailed dream, 2 nights straight. And I said, because I interpret dreams, that's the gift that I got. And I got that gift from my grandmother. I interpret dreams. Believe it or not, I get a lot of calls, people, calling me and asking me, can you interpret this dream for me? Blah, blah, blah. And the gift is on point. Don't get it twisted. Okay. I said, okay, God, you're trying to tell me something about family. I said, and I'm going to sit still until you give it to me. I said, either you go make sure that I find out what happened. Went out to dinner yesterday at Red Lobster. I might add, no, I didn't get the boiled bag. I got the crab carbonara. Okay. And it was all that. Anyway, stay focused, Creole. So anyway, honey, all of a sudden, one comment turned into, did you know? And I was told, and they said that you out. And one thing I love, my sister said, first of all, I know my sister. And if she got anything to say, she gonna say it to your face. And if she said it once, she'll say it again. So I ain't believing all that. That made me feel good. Because when you know me, that's just like mixology. I would know that if mixology had anything to say about me, she'd be like, Creole girl, I said, because I couldn't believe. I know that's her. That's her. Okay. I wouldn't even have to think. Just like Auntie Melissa. She got some. I only deal with real people. Miss T Velocity. I only deal with real people. Jay. That's why I said, I know I'm not for everybody because a lot of people like that fake and phony stuff. But over here, it's straight up no chaser. Dirk. Me and Dirk, Lord have mercy. When it comes to politics, we are oil and vinegar. Okay, we do not mix our oil and water. We do not mix. Okay. However, he respects me. I respect him, and that's how we roll with it. Because Dirk gonna speak his mind, and I love it. You don't have to agree with me to be over here. I feel kind of strange that people only want people in their chat that agree with them. I've never liked yes men. If you don't feel like I'm right to say, you know what, Creole, I don't agree with that because blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, well, this is why I feel blah, 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 blah. And we can agree to disagree. We ain't got to fall out. That's weird to me. I see that all the time. And I be sitting back like, really? But whatever. Whatever floats your boat. Let's see what y'all saying about this. Hold on. Hold on. Slow down. Let me see. It also doesn't help the young boys lack men to train them up. Imagine my shop that men wear pajamas to the store. Yeah, well, I feel you on that. For real. It surely will do something to you. Yeah. The worst ones, yep. What's up, Big Brenda Boo? Hey, love. Thank you for dropping down. Thank you so much. Y'all, we got a lot of content creators over here today. Make sure y'all go and support them, watch their videos, share them out, something, okay? It's enough for all of us to eat. Okay, let me see. Once the more they come together. Okay, y'all talking about something else, okay? Let me see. I respect different ones. So, yeah, because then let me tell y'all, one day, this is before the orange guy got back in the office. It was something, and I disagreed with it wholeheartedly because I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm really an independent, okay? And because both of them lied. They the same coin, different sides, okay? Because when we not looking, they all hang together and, they do all the things, okay? They do all the things. So, I just don't, it is what it is. But he sent me something in an email. And when I read it, I agreed with it. So my viewpoint changed. That's why I said iron sharpens iron. I don't know everything. I don't want to be the smartest one in the class. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, for real. I don't want to be the dumbest one either, but I definitely don't want to be the smartest one. I want to learn from everybody else too. Give me another way of looking at things, So yeah, that's how we do that. So yeah. If y'all see this beautiful lady, she's very beautiful. I hope the baby's daddy is not involved. I hope KKK didn't see this beautiful woman driving Because women, when you're driving, especially on certain roads, you got to be careful. You got to be careful because, it's out there now. We got somebody who is giving, racist people a license to be racist, okay? Like outwardly be racist with no accountability, all right? So you got to be careful. Um, it took me a long time to break a habit because y'all know I'm a widow. And so, but when my husband was living, it was certain times of night I couldn't be out, and I don't care how y'all feel about that. My husband was like, "Oh, if you ain't with me, and I wouldn't buck at system either. When you trust somebody that cares about you and you carry their last name, you tend to listen. You know what? Let me. And since we talking about marriage, y'all, my mama ain't gonna never get married. I hate to say that, but my mother's never getting married. Okay, the guy that I call my stepfather, he was engaged to my mother. He never had any kids, so he took us as his kids. Okay, so he's considered my stepdaddy. Okay, he hate that step crap, but I always talk about my real father, so I gotta call him step, so y'all know who I'm talking about. But in his face and everybody else's face, that's our daddy. Okay, my mom ain't gonna never get married ever. And some of you women that's so every woman hear me roar, all that type of crap. Even talking to her yesterday when we was all at the table, and I saw something. Okay, this guy is interested in my mother. They kind of dating or whatever. He's a good man. Do you hear me? Hard worker, good guy. Just want to treat her like a woman. Just want to love her, and all this and stuff. So she walked into the car after we said something to each other and everything. She's walking to the car. He's behind her. He's reaching for the door. She done grabbed the door, opening it, and he's looking at her because he's a gentleman. Like, I knew not to touch no doors. My husband be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, he's like, "Yeah, quit playing with me." So, and I'm watching this. So I said, "You know what, Mama?" I said, "I'm gonna tell you something. So I'm gonna check you on something." She said, "Okay." I said, "That man was trying to open your door for you, and you went on and open. Oh, he took too long. He took too long. I ain't got time to be waiting." Hey, Mama, he was right behind you. Whatever. I said, "You know what? You right." I went on and shut up, honey. Who? I start eating my crab pasta. You ain't gonna give me and all that. If you don't care, I don't care. So then, everybody else was talking and they was trying to talk to her and all this and stuff and blah 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 and blah blah blah. See, I'm that daughter that she hates to hear from when it comes to real life matters like that because I don't let up. I don't care if you get mad. I don't care if you turn your head. I don't care none of that. I'm going to tell you the truth. Now, she likes it on the other hand, but when it comes to that type of stuff, she can't stand it. So I got quiet because you ain't going to make me miss my meal up, honey. So then she said, so I said, "You know what I want you to do?" So everybody got quiet because I'm very few words, but when I speak, you feel what I'm saying. So I said, "You know what I want you to do?" Oh, what now? What did I do this time? Excuse me, doctor. What did I do this? It's what she said. What did I do this time? I said, "You need to make up your mind. If you want to get married, stop saying you don't when it don't fit your fancy." I said, "I'm getting sick of this bipolarism. One moment, I want a husband. I want to get married. I want to share my life with somebody. And then the next moment, because you don't look good in the story, I don't care if I ever get married. I don't want to get married because I ain't going to change. Can't no man tell me what to do. I ain't going to change my life." I said, "Let me tell you something. A real man ain't going to let you dog him and he ain't going to let you son him. That's why the men you end up with," I said, "Let me go on and eat." The whole table just got quiet, yo. I shut up because I was going in. The whole table got quiet, and I just started eating my stuff. I said, "This is good. Y'all should have ordered this and just changed my whole conversation. I'm not going to have that crackhead conversation with you." Now, my mama's not a crackhead, but the way that she answers and does some things make me question. It just makes me question. Okay, let me see what y'all talking about. Did I miss it? Oh, okay, you're talking right, Creole. I have to take a back seat to Mr. B. Okay. Let me see. All women in my family that are not married say I'm wrong for some baby. If you took his last name, it was something about him that you trusted. If he's a poor frog, you the one picked him. It's only like I used to say, a poor frog that don't honor its own pond. How you gonna be on the left pond, but you way over on South Pond trying to run that? Huh? No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I was so glad that I didn't take my mama's way of thinking when it came to men, that I really did the work to make sure that, I didn't have none of that. Now, don't get me wrong. Work ethic and all the other things, my mama's great. Okay, my shero. But when it comes to relationships, baby, no ma'am. Mm-mm. Nope. No ma'am. And it's funny because the females that she had, me and my little sister, we're married. Well, I'm a widow, but my sister's married too. We both was married. My mom ain't never been married. She was engaged. Let me tell you how she walked out of the engagement. My stepfather wanted to. We was living in the projects. My stepfather was like the second in charge for a hospital. Okay, when he met my mama, he was the guy. Okay, he decided, I'm getting y'all up at the projects. There ain't no way in the world I'm gonna date a woman that she gonna stay in the projects. So he goes looking for a house, not just any house. When I tell y'all this house was bad, brick, corner lot, oh my God. Uh, all the things, all the bells and whistles. He's gonna surprise my mama, okay? He already met with the realtor because he had asked my mama what type of house she want, blah, blah, blah. Just asked her. But we knew what he was doing. So he got the information from the realtor to take my mama and us over there to surprise her before he signed the papers. We get out. We so happy. We like, oh my God. We running all over the property. I mean, beautiful. Not too right across the street is the major park. Okay. My mama gets out. She's got an attitude. You know why she got an attitude? I guess because it was Friday. Let's just keep it 100. Okay. It was, I guess because it was Friday. She has an attitude. So he's like, come on, baby, come on. Why are we here? Now we don't stop because we hear my mama's voice. Okay. He's like, I want to show you something. I guess. He's like, you don't like it? You don't like how it looks so far? Blah, 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 blah. It's time. We knowing my mama. We knowing where this is going. We done got quiet now, and we just standing there. We looking at my stepfather's face. My stepfather has went from being happy to looking at her like, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like he's got this look on his face like, I'm trying to bless us with this, and you this well, Anyway, make a long story short, we goes to the porch. My mama cut up so bad with an attitude. My stepfather said, all right, come on, get back in the car. Thought we was going in. He said, come on, y'all, get back in the car. We was so upset. We was crying in the back seat because we already knew, okay? We crying in the back seat, but we're trying to cry so my mama won't hear because, what y'all crying for? My stepfather opens up the door for us. She's still standing on the porch. She don't understand why he called it off. We can tell she don't understand. He's still standing there by the door. So finally she walks off the porch. Now her attitude unchanged. Are we going somewhere else? He shuts the door. He ain't even slam it. He shuts the door. He gets in the car. He's like, girls, I'm going to stop and get y'all something to eat on the way home. He said, because I'll be back. He was so pissed, y'all. She still don't understand. Now she trying to talk to him. He ain't got nothing to say because he's pissed. That's how we didn't get their house. My stepfather called the realtor, was like, no, thank you. He's like, no, thank you. She's like, are you sure? He's like, I'm positive. No, thank you. Y'all, every time she passed that house now, and we're grown and everything. And every time we pass that house, she look at it. We don't even say nothing no more. We used to say we was gonna get that house, and it was making her feel very bad. So we don't even say nothing no more. We all just know what that house represented. You know. So, honey, his wife, because he did get married. It wasn't to my mama. It was to somebody that appreciated him. And he told before they got married, he said, I got two daughters and I need them here when I say I do. Oh, sure, sure. We met her. She loved on us. My mom was like, don't be letting her what she said, don't be letting her something. When that woman saw us, honey, and it was her wedding day. When she saw us, he was like, these are my girls. And she was like, hi, y'all. I hugged her. All my sister was waiting for was me. I hugged her. She hugged us. She made sure we was taken care of. It was her wedding. She over in the daggone beautiful wedding gown talking about, make sure y'all feed my daughters right there. Make sure they okay. Make sure, I ain't going to dislike this woman because you messed up. That's your fault, not mine. And I used to tell my stepfather all the time, I'm going to marry a man just like you. And I did. I ended up marrying a man just like my stepfather, just like him, you know. And women, stop it. Even if, what's up, Kim B. Boo? Hey, Hood. Y'all, demonstrating in front of me, I did not get a good demonstration on how to treat a man. Not from my mother. I got it from my grandmothers. I got it from my great aunties and aunties and stuff. Because everybody married but my mama. Everybody. And I think part of it, the reason why she's, the way she is because she really wants to get married, but she's messed up so many times and she can't get out of her own way because it's got to be her way. Everything must be her way. No real man is going to deal with that. Ain't no real man going to let you son him. And that's why I used to tell her, I said, you know what? I said, Mama, you remind me of these women who turn a man into their son. Then you don't like him then because now he's your son. He ain't a man no more because he's waiting for you to give him permission to just breathe. Don't a man want to be in a house with a woman arguing all the time? Don't nobody want to deal with that? And I'm sorry, I love you, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. Don't no man want to deal with that. I'm sorry. You know, my husband's my best friend, my calm reason, my reassuring safe place. He taught me that. Yes, mine did too. Slow down and wait. Don't touch the door. Right. Some women get so set in their ways they can't. What you said, that is the truth. You know, bipolar behavior. See, I told my mother once before. I believe she has bipolar. I believe she has a bipolar disorder. She may not be full bipolar, but she is But I'm not her counselor, and I'm retired, so I go see for yourself. And it's funny because everybody else is in counseling. All the families in counseling, but my mama. That's what's so funny. And she the main one that needs it. But she now she's claiming that she's thinking about going. I thought to myself, girl, you don't need to think about it. You need to be laid out on the couch and then laid out at the altar with holy oil poured on top of your head and some deliverance going. Because you know, you know. But yeah, because she tried it with my husband. Now, if I don't talk to my husband no any kind of way, I don't care if you my mom or not. I love you, but guess what? I ain't gonna let you mess up my relationship. I am not gonna let you. No, no, absolutely not. And baby, we done had it about mine. We've had it about man. See, some of you women, y'all let y'all mamas do too much. That's what I don't like about Candace Burris, whatever her name is. That's what I don't like about her because her mama treats her husband like crap, and she's, Mom, come on. He's like, tell your mom that's my mom. So what? And you're supposed to leave your mom and dad and cleave to your spouse. Your mama's out of order, and she needs to be told you out of order. Sure did, honey. Sure did. And I remember that one time my husband told me flat footed to my face. He said, I love you. He said, I'll walk through hell for you. He said, anything you want, need, or whatever, you know I got you. He said, but this one thing I ain't gonna deal with, and that's your mama. She got one more time to say something to me that's out of the way. He said, and I'm gonna forget she your mama, and I'm gonna let her have it. I said, you ain't even gotta do that. My turn. Show did. You ain't you ain't gotta do that, baby. I got you. You mine. I got it. Don't worry about it. I bet she'll never do it again. And she apologized to him, and never he never had that issue with her no more. See, no, and yeah, I hate to say this because I love my mama. Don't get me wrong, but I'm real. I'm a realist, okay, and I'm just talking to y'all. Sometimes parents and family members, when they don't have the life that you have, but they want their life, sometimes they jealous and they do what they can to try to destroy that life. It just is what it is. No, some of y'all don't believe it, but it's the truth. I've had to unlearn a whole lot of stuff because of how. Okay, that's real talk. Smooth, that's real talk. I love my husband because he grew me up since day one, and I met him at 36. Okay, yes, honey, and that's what I say to some of these women that date these poor excuse for men. That's why I say, y'all, it's the difference between a male and a man. Okay, a man is a character situation for a male. Some people are just males. They born with that third appendage, between their legs. It makes them a male. It don't make them a man. A man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get the two mixed up. You know, a man that loves himself and love the man upstairs, talking about God, he'll make sure that you are his rib, and he's going to protect his rib. He's going to love his rib because that's the part of him. Any man that hates himself can't love you. I be tripping. You can tell when a man loves himself. You can tell. And any man that pick you as a wife that loves himself gonna love you just as much. But any man that don't know who he is and don't love himself, you can't expect him to love you. You just can't. Let me see. Okay. Y'all talking some good stuff, honey. And what I like, y'all, I had older women. I actually had older women who, spoke into my life. And I said I always wanted to be the older woman to speak into other women's life, younger women's life, and teach them because I had that. I had women that loved me enough to say, this is what my thing was, okay? I was working for the military department for Humana, and I was talking to one of the older white ladies. We always just talking. We always married. I said, "Oh my goodness, what do you do when your husband is refusing to put the daggone socks in the dirty clothes?" I said, "I get so sick of picking up socks." And then, I said, no matter how close to the daggone bed I put the daggone dirty clothes basket, this man's socks never end up in the basket, right? I'm always having to pick them up. You know what she told me? She said, let me tell you how you get around that. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, this is how you get around that. She said, you leave his socks on the floor. Wherever he leave them, that's where you leave them. You go on and wash everything else that's inside of the dirty clothes basket. She said, and then after that, she said, wait a minute, child. She said, then after that, uh, he'll wake up one day and he'll ask you, baby, I ain't got no socks. She said, and what you say real nice, say, baby, did you put them in the dirty clothes basket like I asked you? She said, and then from then on, you ain't gonna have to worry about it because he'll make sure they get in the dirty clothes basket. That was sound doctoring. Okay. That was sound doctoring. I was like, okay. And what happened? Baby, I had asked him to put them, honey. What happened? One day he was going to work. He had to put on them work boots. Baby, I ain't got no more clean socks. I said, baby, did you put them in the dirty clothes? He got real quiet. He got real quiet. He said, oh, shoot. Well, let me leave out so I can go Family Dollar real quick. I knew where he was going. He was going to get him some socks. I went upstairs in the room. How come every pair of socks that was on the floor was in dirty clothes? See, so the older women are supposed to teach the young. That's why I be so confused. I be so confused with YouTube, but that's a whole nother story. I be so confused, y'all. Pray for me, cause yeah, you know, I be looking at some of these older women myself, like you can't be 50 nothing. I refuse to even believe that you can't be 50 nothing. You just can't be. Lies you tell, because you don't even act like you 50 nothing. You can't be 50 nothing. So, anywho, let me get to my next story before I talk, my whole thing away. Let me see what y'all saying. Hold on. I wish I had the opportunity to share this live because Black females need to hear. Oh, thank you. Let me see. What's up, Van Boo? I be fused, but not back to the clouds. Let me see. Yes, so like I said, it ain't like I know everything, y'all. I don't. But such as I know, I don't mind sharing because I've had to learn from other people. Like Smooth's wife said, she had to unlearn some behavior. So did I. I told you I had this thing called man. Everything was man because I did it. I was every woman. I man. And my husband used to softly say ours. Until one day I really listened to what he said. I said, what you say? He said, ours. He said, because baby, you got this habit of mine. He said, I'm here now. It's ours. Shut my face, smacked me all up in my lips. I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. You absolutely right, boo boo kitty. Okay. I'm like, dang, So I'm not saying it's nothing wrong women being proud of what you've accomplished by yourself and everything. But if you're gonna take the time and y'all gonna, cause some women don't even know that when you're dating, that's interview stage. Anyway, I ain't gonna get started because I can easily go there. I'm not gonna get started. But if you're gonna make the decision to say I do, or at least give this man a year of your time or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and y'all really building, and he's already done told you that he wants to be, he wants to marry you if things keep going, good and all this and stuff, then it's your obligation to make sure that you are your best self. It gets to me when I hear people say, honey, my mama raised me this way, and yeah, but it don't mean it was right. Especially when you know something ain't right. When you know something ain't right, why keep on doing it? That's how curses and things happen. That's how other generations still doing something that 4 generations ago did that wasn't right. You know, I didn't understand what femininity truly was until, all the women in our family would fight a man quick, and I had to be delivered. Girl, you know what? See, Smooth's wife, me and JB, he's in. It's my mind. Me and him have been doing. We did 2 so far. It's called Dating Over 50 and Friends Over 40. But it's everything that has to do with dating, marriage, friendships, and stuff like that. We've done that twice so far. You need to be here so you can put your input in, because this is the type of stuff we be talking about. This is what we be talking about. I love people who can be honest, because my slogan used to be, from 8 to 80, blind, cripple, or crazy, I'll fight you. That was my slogan. Anybody that knew Coco, they would tell you, the one that says from 8 to 80, blind, cripple, or crazy, she'll fight you. That used to be my who? Man, boy, I didn't care. Matter of fact, I got to a point I wouldn't even fight women because there wasn't no competition. So I had to be delivered from that too. My temper was very ugly. My temper was explosive. My temper was ugly. That's why now I don't play around with that. I don't let nobody get me there. Because if I go there, it's a chance I won't come back. God has done too much to deliver me in my temper and my old ways. That's why I'll be whatever you say. She ain't no, okay. Her channel is okay. Thank you. You know. And let me piggyback off of it too. Whatever my channel is or is not, I ain't asked you to come over here and bless me. You know, it'll be a lot of people talking about you only got two people in your chat. Hold on, y'all. You only got two people in your chat. Your channel ain't blah blah blah. Whatever it is, I ain't asked you to come over here. So why you worried about it? See how that works? Whatever my channel is or is not, I ain't asked you to come over here. Moving on. Let's see. Yes. Okay, boo, thank you. I am too tired today. I really don't want to. I'm just saying, I think. But here's the thing, people get mad at me because I said I'm a wife. I am. Not every woman is a wife, but every wife is a woman. Y'all catch that later. Okay. I know I'm a wife. And you're right. Not every, woman is a wife. That's why the Bible actually says, he that findeth a wife find it a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord. Okay. Because when the man sees her, her attributes is of a nurturer, of a wife, of, you know what I'm saying? That when he sees her, no matter, because like I said, I had a temper, but my husband saw through that. He saw who I was and he knew who I was to him. You know what I'm saying? So, and I tell men all the time, you got to be careful because some of these women, a man pick for right now, a woman pick for later. A man pick what turns his eyes right now. She got a big booty, big breasts, and all this and stuff. Oh yeah, I gotta marry her. Ooh yeah. They keep forgetting that this is just giving y'all. 5 years later, your sex drive's gonna change. Yours is gonna slow down, hers is gonna pick up. Women, we get more sexually aggressive the older we get. Men start to decline the older they get. So you won't be matched up. So it should switch. You know what I'm saying? But men, it's what turns them on now. What looks good now. Not, like when I get a little older, is she gonna feed me? Is she gonna wipe my butt if need be? If I get sick, will she, does she know how to budget? Because I can budget and I do, it's none of that. It's first of all, what turns the eyes on? And if she could suck a mean one, come on, we grown over here. If she could suck a mean one, if she can bend over and I can hit it from the back, can she ride it well? She look good on my arm with my friends. Yes. Okay. She might be an airhead in disguise, but it don't matter. And then when you marry her, or you get in with her, now she's pregnant. Now you start seeing Sybil come out of her. Now you can't stand her and she's this, and this. But oh no, remember when people tried to tell you about her, she was the best thing since sliced bread. Because you thought with the other head instead of the one sitting on top of your shoulders. IJS. I saw my two girls starting to do. See, and kids will pick, come on. Well, I think women should explore other dating options like, okay. Okay. Okay, man. Let me see. uh, hey, man's ass. Smooches. I'm going to convert. One day, just not right now. I feel you, boo. I feel you. Mm-mm. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all, I am kind of open now to date other races. Okay. At first, I wasn't. I was strictly my Mandingo Black brothers, okay? Black brother, I love you. Anyway, I was strictly them, okay? But Teresa, it ain't like I don't turn heads of all nationalities. I told y'all I had a Chinese man asked me to come to his picnic and could he take me out to the movies, and I was shocked. Do you hear me? Cause just shocked. And I guess it showed on my face, and I thought that was really really cute. I really did. I thought that was cute, uh, and everything. But yeah, I'm kind of open. I'm scared. I ain't gonna lie, and I don't know why. Because like in my family, we so mixed up. It's crazy. We're a bunch of mixed nuts. Seriously, like I got a whole bunch of white uncles, and I swear, if your eyes was closed, you think they black. I'm so serious. Like you just, it's only when you see them and then they start talking, you be like, it came out of you. Because they don't, I'm serious. Not that, all white people are preppy or whatever the case may be. Okay. But sometimes you can tell a white voice from a black voice. Let's just keep it 100, okay? And not with my uncles. Not with my uncles. Honey. You be like, wait a minute. You just didn't get the 10. You got everything but the 10, right? Okay. Even my aunties, I got plenty of white aunties. Seriously. I told y'all my great grandfather was white. Okay. But I got plenty of white aunties. So yeah, we all mixed up. I got some not Mexican, what he said. I said Latino. I was not Mexican. Excuse me. And he started laughing. We all mixed up. We really are. That's why I don't have a prejudice bone in my body. But they do understand me hollering B1 first. Okay. And everything. So it just is what it is because they feel the same way. But so I'm open because I seen it demonstrated in my family. Even my sisters act like I told you, I'm gonna show her, I'm gonna bring her on one day. I had a sister that, when you look at Mariah Carey, she don't look like she's mixed. Okay. She looks straight white. I have a sister like that. She mixed all up and down through her because our daddy is black. Okay. But she looked like straight passing, straight passing. So when they hear her call me sissy, they just think she's playing on, and she's like, no, that's my blood sister. Yeah. So it just is what it is. We're mixed, not in my city. Oh, okay. Agreed. I don't think love has a cut. Yeah, right. Options Creole. Yeah, so like I said, this year, y'all, September the 13th, it'll be 4 years since my best friend and my hubby has been gone, and everything. And I'm finally ready to date, for real, real. I'm finally open to doing things. I've finally been discovering me. And I'm just excited. I really am excited. And I no longer live my life like I'm married. It took me a while because we was married almost 30 years. Okay. So it took me a while to get out of the wife zone, like, being accountable. Because when you're a wife, you carry yourself as one. And so when I lost him, that didn't just instantly change. I was still carrying myself as being a wife, And so uh she said, good, about time. I know, right, Auntie? So now, I'm carrying myself single and everything. And, so now when, quality being smile at me, and hey queen, I'm like, hey king, like that and stuff, I'm, smiling and stuff back. I don't feel like I'm cheating on my spouse because for a while I thought I was cheating on my spouse, yeah. So yeah, yeah, no, Dang, come on, I just had that up. What had happened? What had happened? I had pulled up what I was going to talk to y'all about, and it done went off the screen. Ugh. So yeah, y'all, I'm just excited. I'm excited. And I'm a coffee drinker. And if a man is budgeting whether or not he can buy me a coffee, you are not the one for me. I'm so serious. I know y'all laughing at that, but that's true. Think about it. A coffee's what, 250, if that. And I don't drink it every day like that. I drink it maybe 3 or 4 times a week, a specialty coffee. That's just something I do for myself. Where most people smoke weed, most people, whatever. If you count up the cost for that, it's different. Me, my drug of choice is coffee. And if, he's like, well, no. I done went through the struggle life. I don't want to go through the struggle life no more. Because, see, by myself, I'm not struggling. So if you add yourself to me, it shouldn't be a struggle. You should come with an addition. You should come, with a surplus. Like, we should be really doing it up. If there's two of us together that's got it going on, we shouldn't, But I don't want that. You got to start over struggle life again. We done been there, done that, got my t-shirt in, and ain't willing to go through it again. I'm in the later years of my life. I'm 55 years old. I ain't trying to do no struggle life. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. And that's just not for everybody. Some women don't mind. I do. I don't want no build a bear. Mm-mm. I'm sorry. So if it makes me a bad person, I'll be a bad person. I sure will. But at least you know up front. You can't say I ain't never said it. She don't never say what she really feels. Lies you tell. Lies you tell. I am trying to find this story, y'all. Give me one moment. I'm still here. Y'all talk amongst yourself. Me too, Creole. My family is of Irish descent, and I'm excited for you, Creole. I met Smooth 7 years after my kids' dad. Oh, okay. That added another layer to beginning life again. Yeah, and you know what? And I've been really making sure that I'm single in my heart as well as single in my mind because he's the longest relationship I've ever had. So of course, it's easy to compare to him because that's all I have to compare to, right? So every time I find myself doing that, I say, stop it. Because you gotta meet a man into who he is and what he's bringing to the table, not compare him to what you had. Because they two different men, you know? So, I just tell any man that's interested in me, be patient. Because even though I've overcame a lot, and I am ready to date, you know what I'm saying? Some things may still be a trial, may still be a trial and everything. So, yeah. Okay, so let me just tell y'all since I can't find it, and if I find it, I'll post it on my community wall. Here in Kentucky, in my city I grew up in, Louisville, a young girl who goes to I call him my little brother, goes to my little brother's church. She was murdered, and it was by her boyfriend. And what's so sad too about this story as well is her friend came down to visit her from a whole nother city, and he murdered her too. So he murdered his girlfriend because she had broke up with him, and he couldn't take. And he murdered the girl that was just visiting. He murdered her, and she was 22 years old. So he's been on the run. Okay, he's been on the run. Everybody's been looking for him. His family's been saying, hey, turn yourself in, turn yourself in. Now, my friend said this morning, and this was really ironic. She said this morning, I think he's going to off himself. No sooner than she said that, a dude came in, because y'all know Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I get a little treatment. So this dude came in and said, hey, Coco. I said, yeah. He said, did you hear that old dude off himself? And I looked at her. She said, what? I said, that's what she just said she thought he was going to do. Well, come to find out, y'all, he went to, if some of y'all watch some of my older videos, I used to go to the grave site and walk around. And then sometimes I used to sit over. I told you it was peaceful. That's where he went and offed himself at the grave site. So, yeah, so he's gone now. And I was just going to bring up that whole thing and let y'all see it. And it just reinforced today me talking to you all about the mates and the men, and everything that you date and stuff. Nowadays breaking up with a man can mean you won't see tomorrow. I'm sorry, nowadays breaking up with a male means you won't see tomorrow, which is so sad. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at that as kids who wasn't forced to go outside and play. Because when you forced to go outside and play, you win some, you lose some. You play OUT out, you play kickball, you play hide and go seek, Mother May I, all these games. And some days you the winner, some days you're not. Okay. You may even fight each other, but the next day, a couple of hours later, y'all done made up and y'all back playing again. Men who are used to that, who was raised like that, understand that everything don't go their way. Okay. You win some, you lose some. But you live to what? Fight another day. Okay. But the new breed that came in was never made to play outside, whatever. Everything was given to them. Everything was these electronical games. Everything was they had to win, 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 win. So when you say no, it's a foreign language. They like, what, huh? You telling me no? What do you mean no? You don't tell me no. You know, is that how you feel? Boom. You know what I'm saying? So please let your kids go outside. Please let them get grounded, take their shoes off and stand in some grass, hug a tree. Some of y'all need to go outside, stand in some grass, hug a tree. It's always the internet, you know. Life be lifing over here. Because even if I don't do nothing but hop in that thing I got out there and drive around and open up my sunroof and let the wind blow in my hair, Miss Thing, honey, and go to the river or whatever the case may be, or go get me a honey who. We get sun over here. We get some sun. I might even go out here and sit on my patio. Okay. But we get sun. I might go out here barefooted and sit on my patio. But I get some sun. Some of y'all don't even do that. Creole wants the $500 copy. Let me see. Creole Butterfly is 47 years old. No, I'm not. I'm actually in my 50s. Man's eye. I'm in my 50s, boo. Shoot. You know what? Hey, I'm telling y'all, arthritis don't be playing. I told y'all, honey, arthritis be like, girl, you might want to do this, but I said today we ain't. We gonna lay right here and watch a movie, and Appa wins. Appa wins. Yeah. We lay down. We obey Appa. We men bring a lot to the table. You know what, man's eye for real, and that's what I love. Like I said, my late husband, he found God through me. That's one star on my crown. Thank you, Jesus. And one thing I could say, when he found God, he found God. He ain't play with it. He ain't do none of that. He when he said I do to God, he said I do to God, and he lived a godly life. Before then, he was a good guy. He always had a good heart. He was a good guy. He was just a street pharmaceutical salesman. He had a full-time job, but he was also a big-time street pharmaceutical salesman. Okay, like he helped people with headaches. He helped people with headaches and stuff, and he was tired of that life. And I told him to be with me. You can't do it, so it worked out. But yeah, that's what that yeah had a name for itself. Yeah. You mention his name now, people go, hey, yeah. So yeah, you know, we ain't always been dot the I and cross the T over here. We ain't always been that. But like I said, when he did walk in there and give God his heart and say, I'm ready, he never looked back. Never looked back. And he used to remind God all the time, now God, you said I will have favor. You said my wife, I will have favor. Seriously. So if he didn't understand, by me being more knowledgeable with the scriptures and stuff, if it's some scriptures he didn't understand, he would ask me. And he trusted the God in me, and he trusted me being his wife, that I'm gonna lead him to the truth. So yeah, he used to highlight his Bible, and told y'all I used to wake up with him with his hands on me, praying on me and everything. Seriously. So that I love that. You don't scare me with a good time, honey. I love a man that love God and that give God his life, that he allow God to lead him. You know, that's a turn on to me. And then I used to love seeing him over the stove cooking, because the man could cook his face off. Okay, he could cook his face off. So yeah, you know, and he was a hard worker. He was very much a hard worker. He's like, he don't know how to. He don't want no woman taking care of him. He said he wasn't raised like that. He don't want that. He don't want no woman taking care of him. So no. Hi the Hampshire. I just got a smile on my face now, y'all. Hi the Hampshire, boo. How you doing? Let me see. We men bring a lot. Okay, I read it. Yep. Man said, y'all sure do. Yeah, I'll never be one of them women talking about I don't want no man. That a man ain't necessary. Lies you tell. It's some things I'll never do, boo. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Honey, everything in its proper order. I like being out south and plush and cushy and I don't want to be all hard, muscles built all up and stuff. He hugging me, don't know if he hugging a man or a woman. No. Mm-mm. I like being soft. I like smelling good. All the things that women do. I like pedicures. I like them all. You understand what I'm saying? Sure. Matter of fact, I was the one to introduce my husband to his first pedicure. He had never had a pedicure before. And I told him, you know what? I'm taking you to get a pedicure. He's like, I say, it don't mean nothing. I'm sewing it to you because you stand on your feet a lot. My husband used to drive forklifts. And then on top of that, he used to be a manager at a fast-paced restaurant. So he had two full-time jobs. I told y'all my husband was a hustler. When he gave up selling, you know what, and everything, he took on two full-time jobs. And like he used to tell everybody, I got a family. I got a family. And make sure my family's taken care of. If that means I got to work two of them, that's when I'm working. And he did it with a smile on his face. I'm being honest with y'all. One day, I was just, I go through and look around and all this and stuff. So one day, I was putting his shoes that he wore to his restaurant job. I was putting them in their proper places. Ugh. And I saw that my husband had a hole in his shoe. Not the top part, but the bottom part. And he had actually stuck a piece of cardboard in there. I was mad. Do you hear me? I was mad. I screamed so loud, I woke him up. He's like, what? What is it? Because he ready to fight. Because he was my protector, y'all, for real. He ready to fight. What? What? Where? I said, babe, you mean to tell me you've been working with holes in your shoes? You know what he said to me? Oh, girl. And flipped back over like I wasn't talking about nothing. I said, excuse me. Babe, it's no big deal, baby. It's no big deal. They still work. I'm still working. And it was a big deal to me because he took care of us, especially me. Okay? And you mean to tell me you walking around with holes? Not on my watch. Not on my watch. No, you're not. See, and it's one thing I love about my husband. Name brand stuff meant nothing to him. Where most men got to have name brand this, name brand that, name brand this. My husband, he didn't buy into labels. Then when it came to me, he did. Because like he said, I was his good thing. And he gonna make sure his good thing is good. And I'm like, I don't have to have all that. He's like, yes, you do. But him, he could care less. He's like, don't buy me no name brand. Like most men gotta have Jordans. My husband didn't have to have no Jordans. Matter of fact, he can't stand them. Most men gotta have, this and that. Not him. Let me tell you what my husband used to do. At his one job, he had to wear blue jeans, right? Even in the summertime, he had to wear blue jeans. He used to go to DAV out of Goodwill and get his jeans, take them to the cleaners, have them washed and pressed or whatever. And that's how he used to buy his jeans. He wouldn't let me buy him no brand new jeans, not to work in. When I did buy him some, it was for if we go out on a date or whatever. But other than that, he tell me no, you know where I'm going. Quit playing. So yeah, so I made it my business from then on out to check his shoes to make sure that his feet was okay. Because it's like I said, this man stood up on his feet. From forklift driving to being a manager, that's always on your feet. So yeah, I ain't like it. Don't play with me. Mm-mm. I'm a good wife. Don't do it. And when I explained to him how I felt, I said, you take such good care of us. You especially take good care of me. Don't do it, baby. For real. Don't do me like that. I said, you don't know how I feel when I saw all that. You don't ever gotta do that. What's he just didn't paint. My husband was a countryman. Countrymen do what they gotta do. They don't care nothing about all that as long as they can still do their job. So yeah, it did something to me because I'm like, I could see if he was a lousy husband and a lousy father and all that. I wouldn't care how you walked, you know. I said, but you too good to me. Absolutely not. Who? Didn't I order him some shoes? Matter of fact, I ordered them two pair and some boots. Quit playing. Shoot. We don't play our time. Okay, Van been trying to fix me up for a minute, okay? Van been trying to fix me up for a minute. I'm like, no, 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 no. Okay, cause Van wants me to open up myself to m- men who are born men but are now women. And I'm like, no, there's nothing wrong if somebody else want to do it, but no, I want man. Okay, so that's automatically a no. Cause now I don't want Van trying to slip one in. No, no, no. Now, what Van did tell me was I should open myself up to other races. And that's why I said I'm open to that now because he was right. I'm sorry, she was right. So I opened myself up to other races. So, yes, Van got that. I did that for Van because it made sense what Van was saying. So, yeah, you know. And I'm not hard to please. That's what's so funny. I'm not hard to please. I love honesty. I love for us to have a just to be able to have a conversation. You know, I love movies. I'm at an age now to where, you know, going out to eat, buying something out to eat shouldn't be a big thing because hopefully all your kids is grown because I don't want no man that's got no little kids. I'm sorry, I just don't. Y'all done heard me say that 99,000 times. So now there's 99,001. I don't want no man with no kids that they still responsible for. I just can't. If they not 18 and older, mm-mm, 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 no, mm-mm, sorry. Because my baby will be 23. See how that works? And I've been responsible for a kid since I was 8. One of my little sisters, I was responsible for. I was a latchkey kid. So when I came home, I changed my clothes and went and got my little sister. See how that works? So I've been responsible for a child ever since I was 8. I had my first child at 15. So no, now that I'm not responsible for a kid, it's just me, responsible for me. I can come and go as I please. I ain't got to deal with all that. I do not want a mate who has to do that, who has to be responsible for a child. Nope. Because every time we go to do something, it'll always be what my kid needs. I have to do this for my. No, no, I don't want that. If me and you planning something, if me and you gonna go out to eat, and your child call, talking about uh they missed the bus and they 19, what you gonna do? And if in your mind you think, okay, well, I'm gonna have to cancel our date. I'm gonna have to be late getting you because I gotta go get my child that missed the bus and make, huh? They 19. See, I just don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. I don't. I'm sorry. Okay, Kim B. I don't want to deal with that. I'm serious. Mm-mm. No, thank you. I'm fine. we good over here. We good, boo. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. Uh-uh. I hear you. Disrespectful. I hear you. That's my sister, y'all. I don't care what y'all say. Okay, baby, get you a nap. Do you from Ross? Okay. I know. I gave you that. I gave you that. I gave you that. That's why I'm opening up, myself to other races. Other races. As long as he don't think it's funny to call me the N word, cause then I'll be in penitentiary. I'm telling y'all, y'all be like, Creole, what happened? Oh my goodness, what happened? The way that they found that man. So yeah, mm-mm. Don't call me no N word. Mm-mm. Baby, we don't play those crackhead games. No ma'am, no ham, no sandwich. Mm-mm. Yep. So, but put it like this, y'all. I think part of my problem for some men is because I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that I'm a doctor, retired, but nevertheless I still, when you research, it still shows me that right there to some men is threatening. Kim, it's your birthday. Let me try to get it together, girl, because my throat ain't right. Hold on. Let me see. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Kim B. Happy birthday to you. All right, those are sinuses for you. Happy birthday, girl. Yeah, but yeah, I just mm-mm. And which I wouldn't have never went back and got my doctorate degree had it not been for my late husband. He told me, "You too intelligent not to have it." He said, "Plus, I need bragging rights." He said, "I need bragging rights. I need to be able to brag that I got a doctor for a wife." Like he found it honor in me being a business owner, me being a minister. Oh my God, he really found that to be he was my armor bearer, if you want to say it like that. Like he carried my bag, he carried my towel, he carried my drink. He didn't care what people think. He loved to hear me sing. He'd be over there, sing, baby, sing, baby. And everybody used to laugh at him because he had tears rolling down his face. Like he was my biggest supporter. He, preach, baby, walk with that word. Come on in here. And a lot of this man, after one day after I had ministered one Sunday, this man, he stood up to have, remarks. He said, "You know what?" He said, "Because of you, I got to go home and apologize to my wife." He said, "I heard how you was just talking about your husband, how he allows you to do this. And because of him is why you do it so well, because he has your back and he supports you and he prays for you and he covers you." He said, you talked about your husband like it made me feel bad because I've been giving my wife grief for wanting to preach the gospel." He said, "So I'm going to go home and apologize to her and ask her, can I be her covering in that manner and everything?" And my husband stood up and he had something to say to him and everything like that. And everything. But most men, that's what I'm saying, most men, they find that it's a threat to them. What you mean, the word? I'm the man. I'm supposed to. And I ain't taking down for none of that because I know who I am. If you can't deal with me being who I am, then I'm the wrong one for you. You know, I've always made more money than my husband when I was working. I always made more money than him. I never threw it up in his face, ever. And his thing was, well, with two jobs, we gonna make equal. And that's just how he felt. I never told him that that's just how he felt. And all the money went into one big old bank account, except I had a separate one that he knew about, but said he didn't know about, and we act like he didn't know about it. That's how we did. He said, he said, actually, we got three accounts. He said, we got one for when we go out of town. He said, we got one for all the bills. He said, then my wife got one that I'm not supposed to know about, that she know I know about, that I help give her money to put in there for her, that I don't know about, that I know about. So everybody used to get a kick out of that. We would laugh about it, and everything, because there was times when he would need something, like when something happened with his car and it cost almost $700. And he was like, "I'm gonna have to wait until, I get paid, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "How much is it?" He was like, seven, blah, blah, blah. I was like, "Here," gave him the car. He's like, "Baby, you really got $700 sitting over there like that?" I'm like, "Never you mind. Go pay to get your car fixed. That's all you need to know. Go get your car fixed." Because I had his back. He had mine. So I don't mind that. I don't, but a lot of men don't think like that. They just, a woman like me is a threat. And that's how they look at it. A woman like me is a threat. And I refuse to dim my light for anybody. If you don't see me as an asset, I ain't the one for you. Because as much as I always tell people like this, as much as I'll fight for you, I'll fight you when you're wrong. Not physically. I'm talking about I'll be the one saying, you wrong. I'm going to stand with you, but you're wrong. And that's another thing my late husband say. He said, man, she be the one tell me, you know you wrong. I got your back, but you wrong. He said, I don't want no woman just gonna tell me I'm right about everything. So again, a lot of men can't take it. And that's why my kids feel like I'm a date a woman. I'm just really being honest with you all. They doubling down on that. My baby girl wish I date a woman. She says she can't see no man treat me like her daddy did or better. She said I can't see it. It's gonna take a woman, mama, because these men are too threatening. So pray for me. Oh, thank you, Kim. Thank you. I tried, girl. Me and my bestie, y'all know him, the real life with Anthony McNeil and Apollo. If y'all don't know who he is, go check him out. I know he's probably listening. Hey, Anthony. If he's not asleep, because he works hard, and sometimes during this time he's asleep. Then sometimes he gets off and he's too wired, so he can't go to sleep. But he always support me. So even if he missed my live, he go back and listen to it. So shout out to you, friend. Me and him supposed to be uh we said this 2 years ago. I didn't know it was been that long, but I went back. We said this 2 years ago that me and him was gonna jump on a joint together, jump on a song together, and every stuff. Uh, so I'm like, well, wait. So wait a minute. I want to show y'all something real quick. And I'm gonna get my stream, whatever that is that I was doing, trying to do early on my first live. I'm gonna get that together because I like it a little bit better than the yard of the stream. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna pull up something real quick. Hold on, I'm still here. Hold on to your lips. Hold on. Uh. I'm really a soprano, y'all. I'm very much a soprano. Um, However, it depends on my sinuses on a good day, whether or not we're going to soprano, because sometimes my soprano and don't be soprano, so I have to go to alto. However, too, I can actually go all the way to tenor. Like I can go from high soprano to tenor, back to alto, up to I can do the things. I can do the things. Now I ain't trying to say I can out sing nobody because I don't put myself in no competition. I just do me. I just do me. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Let me show y'all what he do because I like to give him support. That's my boo boo. Hold on. Let me show y'all what he do real quick. And also, if y'all need some music for whatever reason, uh Creole with someone 35 be okay for you? No, because my oldest child is about to be 39, so they got to be older than my oldest child. I'm sorry. They gotta be. They gotta be. Okay, so okay. Let me tell you. Let me just play a little bit of this. I don't think he a man. Shout out to you, friend. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward. I wonder why it ain't making no sound. Okay, hold on. This is him in the lab creating music, y'all. Come on, Linnell, hold on. Yes, y'all. Hold on.
To this one right here. So I'll see y'all later. Peace out.
Now, friend, hold on. I'm like I said, I know you listening. I didn't know that sounded like that. Now, what am I about to say? I didn't know it sounded like that. Okay, have you finished that yet? Cause I might want to get that from you. Have you finished it yet? I'm just gonna say, cause yeah, it's right up my alley right there. I can put them lyrics together with that. Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go. Shout out to QB. Let's get it. Let's go. Okay. Oh man, that is so sexy. Just listening to that, some words that's coming in my head. Uh, 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 yeah. Come on now. I'm 44 and I can't see myself with anyone under 48, but 55 will be my max. Okay, I get that. I get that for real. My late husband was 9 years older than me. So, yeah, I date older. A matter of fact, I forgot how old I was. My boyfriend was 44. I was either 19, going on 20. I was 20, and he was 44. Because my mind is older, so I attract older men. They'll tell me, "You look so young. How old are you?" Because you carry yourself, and I've always done it. Even as I've always had an older mindset. I used to be around older women. I learned from older women. I used to hang with older women. So my mind is like. So yeah. I don't know what Creole need, but I don't need no 35-year-old drive. I'm 44. Treat me for okay. What you said? That's true. No, since men's drive go down when they get older or younger. Oh, because he's going by what I said earlier. I said the older men get, their sex drive begins to decrease. But but the older women get, ours kick in more. So it's like the opposite. Like men being nerds at their earliest, like a young boy, he can screw like a rabbit. He can keep going like the Energizer Bunny, and we can take it. We like it and we'll go, but it ain't what's on the forefront of our mind. But the older we get, the more our sex drive and our cravings kick in. By the way, let me say this to some of the women: if you are dealing with dryness, you know what I'm talking about. You need to get you some slippery elm. And no, you don't put it down there, you take it by mouth. That's just one of the benefits. It keeps down there moist. Okay. Sometimes the older we get, we start getting that dryness down there, especially like in my case, I ain't had a penis since August 24, 2013. Okay. August the 24th, 2013 was the last time I had some. And the next time I have some is when I'll be on my wedding day. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah. So a man's really a man. Damn. So when he gets me, he's really getting a virgin, a renewed virgin, because I've been with one man, okay, 30 some years, one man, one. And now that man is gone. It's going on 4 years this year, and it's been 4 years, honey, since I had one, okay? Because y'all remember that same day he was actually diagnosed with COVID. Nuh-uh, Jay, stop. That same day he was diagnosed with COVID. hmm So yeah, I'm just saying, y'all, it's going on 4 years, and I don't see me breaking this streak no time soon. Cause you know what? I ain't knocking no woman that gives it up. Do you, boo? I'm talking about me. Okay. I think I'm such a prize that when I do spread it wide and lay it low, that man is gonna deserve it, and I'm gonna have his last name. That's I just think like it about myself. You know, ain't nothing wrong with it. We always think when a woman say it about herself, well, she thinks she all that. I do. I do. Seriously, I do. And I'm not going to apologize for that. I only hang with queens. Any woman that I deal with must be a queen. Seriously, we think queen, so we are. We carry ourselves in a manner, so we are. Okay. So a queen don't lay down with peasants. A queen knows a king, and a king knows a queen. And so whenever this man come on that's smart enough to see that I'm his wife and be like, you know what? I know I got me one. He can honestly say, and I know that you got a bill of health, you ain't been with Tom, Dick, and Harry, literally. And I can show my bill of right that I ain't got nothing. And I can honestly say, baby, you the first, so you gonna break my virginity again because I ain't had nobody since 2013. I'm sorry, 2021. I'm on a project, but happening to come in by the phone and hear that. Drink your water and eat plenty of hydration. Yeah, and pineapple make the woman's taste good. If you want your husband, because we advocate marriage over here, if you want your husband to 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 like what he tastes, and I'm trying to be very very diplomatic in the way I'm saying this. Okay, pineapple is what you want to always feast on. Even men, if you want your woman to taste your rainbow, you want your wife to taste your rainbow, eat pineapple. It makes it taste sweet and not bitter like you got an issue. Okay? I'm just saying. Also, men, please keep that area washed. Cause y'all sweat too much down there. And ain't no woman gonna want to put her face in the place and you stink. You smell like sweat. Please keep that spot washed. Okay? I'm just saying. Okay? If women gotta wash theirs, who are you? You know. That's all I wanted to say. 8 hours before here. Pineapple and mango. Come on. Come on, sissy. Y'all read what she said, right? Hold on. Let me highlight that. Let me highlight my sister. Let me highlight. Hold on. There we go, right there. Y'all heard what she said, right? Mm-hmm. Pineapple and mango. I'm telling you. It should be in your menu at least once a week. And that's just giving it. At least once a week you should be eating some pineapple and some mangoes. Okay? Seriously. That's if you active in and everything. But if you like me, ain't had no penis, don't even know what it looks like anymore, I don't even know what it looked like no more, y'all. It's been so long. Matter of fact, I'm at a point now to where even when I'm reading a book and it gets to that part where it's real steamy, I skip all of that because I'm not trying to make my spirit get all hyper, and I ain't got nobody to go lay down with, nobody to break my back in. You ain't gonna get me all horny and stuff, and I can't do nothing about it. So no, I skip that. When it's on a movie, I fast forward past it. Yeah, I don't know why y'all put yourself through that. If you ain't doing it with nobody, why? Who? My God, today. ah, okay, yeah. Get it in your system like right now, okay? Right now. So yeah, honey, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So don't. It's a feeling it will go, girl. I'm not. Mm-mm. See, you forgot, sissy. You forgot. I used to be a dominatrix, and I used to strip. So those are two sexual, lust-filled situations. Okay. Then God delivered me, and I got married. So I became the way I should be and think about sex the way I should be. So what I don't want to do is open back up nothing that is already settled in my spirit. So I'm like, I pass it on and go on about my business. Now, when I was married and my husband was here, baby, we had sweet fellowship as much as we could. Okay. I might be in here looking at a movie or something because I got a real big, TV he bought me. And I might be in here. He might be in the room looking at that big TV. And honey, he'll come in here and yeah, it be on and popping. I'm just saying. I could be in the kitchen cooking and he'll come in there and hug me, and one thing lead to another, and the microwave going off and all this stuff, and you know, yeah. So I had a very healthy sex life as a married woman. I don't understand it about you married people. Let me say this, and we out of here. Now I know you work all the time and stuff like that, and that's fine. Work hard, play hard. But some of y'all don't even do it once a week, letting on once a month. What's wrong with y'all? You can do it all you want to because you're married. You can do it all without guilt and everything. And he don't even hit you on your butt. You don't rub his junk. I don't, because my hands and my ex-husband, not ex-husband, Lord, my late husband's hands, like, knew no boundaries. Even when we riding in the car, stay out of my business. But I'm just saying, I don't get some of y'all. It's like, uh-uh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay, well, you 50 good, honey. Good. So, yeah. I'm just saying though, y'all, enjoy your marriage, especially with all the stress that's going on outside of the home. You know what I'm saying? We never know what the orange guy gonna do and all that type of stuff. When y'all in the house together, baby, enjoy yourself. Seriously. And I know if you got kids, you got to schedule it and all this and stuff like that. I get it. But don't neglect each other. Seriously. The number one need of a man is sexual fulfillment. Okay. The number one need of a woman is financial stability. So even though women need something different from a man, y'all both have a number one need. Make sure each other's needs is taken care of, and you'll be okay. And especially if you put God in the middle of that, 3/4 chord should never part. That's the thing that ties you together. We say a lot of stuff over here, but I always want to lead, and speak some truth if I can. You know, so you approve. I might be now, shoot. Since Alpha done kicked in a lot, I might not can swing on the chandeliers and all this like I used to, y'all. Shoot, but I'm gonna give it the old college try. When it's time, I'm gonna give it the old college try. I swear, And it got to a point. I'm gonna be honest with you. It got to a point the way my husband was working, the way I was working, and all this and stuff, and we had the kids. We realized a couple of times that we hadn't been together in sweet fellowship. Okay. And that was unacceptable. Okay. Because then you leave the enemy up to come in between your marriage, and we wasn't having that. at all. So we agreed to make sure we at least hit it once a week. And I had to give up the right to, be that crock pot. You know how women like to be warmed up. Sometimes you just need a drive by. Sometimes, hey, if cooking a pot roast and you in the kitchen making macaroni and he roll up on you, hey, get it in. You know what I'm saying? Get it in. Stop waiting for. Well, I need him to smooth me, rub me. Girl, go on and just get it in. You can do all that later. Schedule that for later. But right now, this man has a need, and so do you. Don't let him drive by a little bit, and everything, and y'all all be happy. So yeah, and that's another reason why I don't want a man with no kids, because we might decide, we want to be in the kitchen, and if you got little bitty Rondo, and you got Steven, and you got Sharisha, and all this stuff, you got to be all quiet. They listening. No, they in the other room. Okay, come on. And all of a sudden the door open. You got to pull your clothes up. Nah, get away from me. Nope. Kim, I'm sorry, boo. I'm sorry. I'm just cutting up, but I'm telling the truth. My spots change. My spots change. Sissy, like one time my spot may be my ear, and that may get me going. Or it might be up under my neck, and that may get me going. Or it may be my boobs. That may get me going. But they never stay the same. Like it'll be like it maybe for like maybe a week or two. And then after that it'll change. But he used to find it fun because he's like, I get to explore. Yes, sir. Anyway, let me see. Man shows out when there is not fellowship. Okay. You know what? I do too. And let me tell you how my husband used to know. My husband would say, you know what? I know what's wrong with you. I be all feisty and all this and stuff. And I know, I ain't paying no attention. He's like, I know what's wrong with you. He said, don't worry, I'm gonna take care of it later. And then it'll dawn on me, dang, we ain't. He's like, because anytime you won't get your, and he said, I have it for you. We just get mixed up doing other things. He said, but I'm gonna make sure I take care of you tonight because I can't take it. And that's the truth, y'all. I would get an attitude and didn't know why I was getting an attitude, because today was Monday. I would just be mad because it's Monday. And that man be like, "That's all right. I'm gonna break you back in. You ain't gotta worry about it. I got you, baby. I got you." And I just be whatever. But he be so right. I be cracking up too. And then my attitude changes, and I be just as happy and walking around like, "Hi, hi, how you? Yeah, how you doing? Girl." You gonna let him drive out tonight? I know that's right. Ooh, y'all have a date night? We did too. We had a night that was a date night that we designated date night. We didn't do nothing else on that night but date. I don't care what happened. I remember one time they was trying to change his schedule. He was like, if I can have this night out, well, no, you can't. He said, well, then don't change my schedule. He said, because I got something that I'm dedicated to and I can't change it. Seriously, he passed it up and they was like, okay. He said, because if his marriage don't work, he don't work. Yep. So we had our own little date night, honey. I used to love it. Oh, you will come out of your meet the right man. He will bring it back out again. I am also a widow, but I do have a. You already have somebody. Let me say this. I don't really do nothing to really meet anybody for real. Like, I really don't do nothing. Seriously. I go maybe every now and then I go line dancing class. I'm always going to church. Anything church related. I'm a church girl, for real. I'm a church kid. So I do go to church. What else? I got friends that want to set me up, but I don't trust them. I don't like they mates, so I ain't gonna let them try to. I don't know. Like I said, y'all, I've been engaged. I was engaged 5 times. Okay, it was like a bad perm. It just didn't take. My husband was the sixth. Okay, he was the sixth person. But like I said, I was dating the guy I was engaged to When I walked into this dance that I was invited to, and my husband was with his girlfriend and whispered to his little brother on the other side of him, that's going to be my wife. And his brother knew who I was because his brother and my cousin was dating. They lived 2 doors down from me. And they invited me to the dance. And he said, you don't even know Coco. He said, I know I don't, but I will because that's going to be my wife. Just like that. And that night, he asked me to dance. And I looked at his girlfriend and she said, honey, you can dance with him because I'm not. Just like that. So every song that came on, me and him danced. And then when we all left out, I was on my way home to take a little 30-minute nap, get ready for work because I had to be at work at 4 o'clock in the morning. And my cousin asked me about him. I said, he's a good guy. He just need a better woman. Who knew? Next day after I got from work, my cousin was beating on my door, beating on my door. When I finally answered, she said, B. I said, I told you about calling me a B word. She said, anyway, guess who's moving in? I said, who? She said, just guess. I said, I don't know. She said, no, the dude you danced with last night? All last night? I said, yeah. She said, girl, they broke up. And he's moving in. And guess who he asked about? And I got quiet. I said, who? She said, and I quote, where that big booty girl at? Go get her. I want her. I said, can you tell her my name's Coco? Like that. And from then on, it was history. Who knew? He saw me and knew I was his wife. And like I said to y'all the other day, when a man wants a woman and he knows she's worth something, whatever he has to do to get himself right, to get in line, to make himself better, he's gonna do it because he sees something he wants and she's worth it. I get scared of these men that are so wrapped up in their storm, they let a good woman pass. And it'd be 2, 3 years from now, and they still talking about that storm. And then you ask God to send you a good woman or whatever, and when He sends it, you don't see it. You so focused on the storm, you don't see what God's trying to do. God is giving you a reason to fight. He's giving you a reason. You know, here's your good thing right here. You see, here she is. Now you said you ready for a change. There she is. So I don't know. I don't know. We knew that wagon was dragged smooth for me. My husband told my sister the same thing. We had just met 19 years later. He was okay. That's what I'm saying. Real men, it don't take them forever to, make a woman theirs. You know what I'm saying? Even at the time, don't y'all know what my husband, when he was interested in me, he had a conversation with me. He said this, and I quote, he said, you were fighting for, bear with me because I'm actually getting myself together. He said, because I want you. That's exactly how he said, I want you. He said, I ain't stupid to let you walk out of my life. Yeah. He said, just bear with me. And I told him, I'll bear with you as long as you're honest with me. Y'all see, we almost did 30 years. So, married, that is, 33 unmarried. So, yeah. Yeah, his girlfriend, girl, she was, well, she's dead now. I ain't gonna speak ill of the dead. But, she what he found out later was I was sitting over my cousin's house one day when she came in with her baby daddy, and they paid my cousin and his little brother to use a room upstairs to have sex. I just didn't know that was his girlfriend until after I met her and him at the dance. So he knew she wasn't marriage material. He knew that. And when me and him was talking one day, this is after we was married and everything, we was talking. He said, she's the type of woman that want a man to manhandle her, grab her up in the throat, smack her a little bit. He said, that ain't even me. It's not my character. It's not me. And if I got to do all that for you to know I love you, then I don't need to be with you because I ain't going to jail for nobody, you know. And I could tell that's the type she love them thugs, that do all that to you and stuff, and everything. So yeah. Well, Creole, I believe a younger man of another race would be the perfect man for you. Ah, nah, I can't date nobody younger than my daughter. Like I said, my oldest child will be 39 this year. I can't date nobody younger than her. I'm sorry. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I want to play matchmaker for my best friend. She is one of the best women I know. She believes in love. I do believe in love. I really do. I do. Unfortunately, this is my problem. I see in men what some men don't see in themselves. And that's my problem. Because if you don't think you about nothing, or if you don't think you worthy of this, or if you don't think you ready, then who am I to tell you you are? I think women, we have a problem with that. A man will tell you exactly where he's at, and you may see him in his shell B, but he'll tell you exactly where he's at, and we be seeing him in his shell B, and we'll try to nurture him to get ready to be the man that we saw, and he be telling you that he ain't there. He ain't, So if you don't think you there, if you don't think you the one, I agree with you. You not there, you not the one. Moving on. Moving on. That's just where I'm at with it. Um, I don't man. I love when a man is honest with me because honesty is everything to me. It just really is. However, like I said, after a while, this is my question. So now what? I understand. Trust me. You know, your car broke down. I get it. It's been 3 weeks. Okay, I get it. The cat threw up on your couch. Okay, all these things is happening. I get it. And it can be overwhelming. I get it. But after 7 weeks, you're still singing the same camel soup song. My question becomes, so now what? Okay. Like I can tell your story better than you can because that's all you do is rehearse it. I want to know what's your next move. How do you see yourself coming out of this? What have you done to bring yourself out of this? You know, that's my question. And sometimes to me, that sound harsh, but my thing is all this energy and time that you don't took to rehearse this story, because every time you repeat it, you're rehearsing it. Okay. And it becomes new again. It becomes fresh again. It becomes, so my thing is when you go to repeat it, what's your answer? Like, okay, the cat threw up on your couch. What did you do? What have you done? Okay, your car broke down. Have you asked anybody to look at it? Have you Googled it on YouTube? How much is it going to cost? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop rehearsing the same bad stuff. What's your next move? Because you're supposed to have an answer, you know. So, and I think sometimes men don't know how to take me because I'm not that one that's going to keep letting you stay in the dark. I'm not that one that's going to keep letting you stay depressed. I'm not that one that's going to keep letting you be down. It don't work well with me. It just does not. My question becomes, okay, so what's next? If I was to tell y'all right now, hey Catherine, if I was to tell y'all right now, my family that has done me, y'all would be like, and I still come on here every day, like, hey y'all, what's going on, y'all? And that's how I mean it. I don't owe y'all nothing. Once a person show you who they are, believe them. Hey, Catherine, if I didn't speak, once somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Take them at their word. And one of the people that was with some people doing me was one of my children. Now go figure that. I know y'all like what? Yeah, go figure that. And you know what? I still ain't said nothing. You know why? I don't care. When I tell y'all there's a song. Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick and then we out of here because I see old dude just went live and I'm his mod too. So hold on. Hold on. I want y'all to listen to this for real. Yeah, I know I'm honest. So I want y'all to listen to this. For real. Yes, I've been through a lot over the past couple of years. I'm taking a good break. I'll be back. I just wanted to let you know. I love you too, Sissy. And uh I still got you on the email tips. So I'll email you. I can't date men in their 30s. They are too close to me. That's what I said. My oldest child will be 39. What I look like dating? Mm-mm. If it ain't 45 or older, mm-mm. Can't do it. Won't do it. Mm-mm. D-Ham, how old are you? I'm asking for a friend. Whatever makes you strong, baby. If you got to get up off of here in order to, hey, I support you 100 bands, okay? So, yes. I know D-Ham heard me. Right here. This is what I want y'all to remember, okay? Right, Smooth. This is for all of y'all. Listen. I put all my kids. I was messing with you. We share this song at the church. And that, come on. Okay, so check this out, y'all. Wait a minute. Hold on. I was trying to make that play. I'm sorry. Let me turn it off real quick. So somebody requested me on Instagram, right? And I'm gonna put it back on because we're gonna go out with this song. It's only 1 more minute on it, but somebody requested me on Instagram, some man, and he's of the other persuasion. He's not my color. He's a nice looking man too. I mean, he is. But I asked him a question. I said, how'd you uh find me? How do you know me? Because I don't just, I'm not thirsty like that. I don't just let everybody have access to me, um, and everything. And so it's only one content creator that knows who I am on Instagram, and everything. And I've granted her, well, actually two. St. James is the other one now. But yeah, I was like, how did you find me? And he has yet to answer that question. So I blocked him. So I'm like, because I gave him like 2 weeks to answer that question, and he didn't answer. I mean, he's nice looking too, and I'm like, mm-mm. I can't unsee it now, DM. What, DM? I know he's probably I really believe he's a handsome gentleman, for real. I've never saw him, but I believe he's a handsome gentleman. Seriously, you know. Yes, you know. Maybe one day I'll be fortunate enough to see Mr. Ham, you know, and every stuff. Cause Lord knows he got my number and he don't call, and I don't call men. So it's like, the number's just out there somewhere, floating in the phone sphere and everything. But I ain't mad about it. I don't feel no type of way about it. You know what I'm saying? But we have talked once because I just like his voice. I do. He could have called and said, "Hey, Creole." I would have said, "Hey," and that would have been good for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I like his voice. For real. That's a voice that I can lay and listen to. You know what I'm saying? It just really is. But it is what it is. You know, and everything. So, let me go back to church. All right, y'all. I love y'all, and remember, no matter what the test, always do your best. And there's nothing y'all can do about it. Okay, it just is what it is. All right. I enjoyed y'all today. Thank you so much for everybody who supported me. Okay. All right. Smooches.